And so good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners at CSL Redlands. And we welcome you to our meditation service. So I invite you just to become still together with me. And let's become mindful of our breathing. And let's take some united fields of breathing together. We just take an easy exhale out. Exhaling out anything and everything that's preceded this moment in time. Just let it go with your breath. And let's just take an easy and deliberate inhale in of the divine of the allness of God. Just breathe that in. And let's simply exhale out anything and everything that does not match that divine idea. Just let it go. And we breathe in the divine, the allness, the oneness, the pervasiveness of Spirit, of God, of the universal intelligence that created the plants and the stars and the oceans and the mountains and the seas, created me and you. And let's exhale out anything and everything that does not match that. This time with a grunt or a noise. Just let it go with a grunt or a noise, verbally letting it go. Ah. Let it go. Again, that felt so good. Ah. And now that gentle inhale in of the divine breath of God. And exhaling out anything that you didn't in the beginning because it was too embarrassing. Letting that go again. Ah. And again with the inhale in of the divine. Just feel a smile of gratitude on your heart and release the breath and anything that doesn't match this perfect idea. And just inviting you now to return to your normal breathing pattern. Reminded that the power and the presence, the love, the grace of God, of pure spirit is always here. It's in our breath, it's in our life, it's in our soul, it's in our beingness. It's not something we can escape. It is something we can avoid. And so today I consecrate this time of stillness and sacred silence to the remembering of the I am that I am. That this power and presence that indeed powers the seas and the stars and the mountains and all sentient beings, all of nature, created me and created you perfect and whole and complete. Imagine that. And let's do that together for a minute, just imagining that I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am perfect, whole, and complete. If your mind starts to wander, use that as a mantra if you're open to it and willing. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am perfect. I am perfect. I am perfect. I am whole. Breathing it in, I am whole. Exhaling it out, I am whole. If you're willing, relax into your wholeness. Let the wholeness of the living Spirit within you surround you now. I am whole. I am completely perfect and 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 whole. We breathe it in, we exhale that out. And if you're willing, allow yourself to completely surrender to this idea that I am completely perfect and whole. Feel the wholeness, feel the perfection, feel the completeness. And so now inviting you to surrender even deeper with each breath. Easy inhales in, and easy exhales out. There's this place in you that has never been, nor could ever be, hurt, harmed, or endangered in any way. See where that is within you. Find it. No struggle in the finding of it. If you're not sure, you can use your heart space. And inviting you now to infuse this place within you that comes to your mind's awareness with love and grace and this idea, I am perfect, whole, and complete. Infuse it. You're the only one who can make it stronger, bigger, bolder, wider. Infuse it with your unconditional love of self. I am whole, complete, and perfect. I am whole, complete, and perfect. I am whole, complete, and perfect. So just allow for your breathing to return to your conscious awareness. Just fill your heart space with gratitude and praise. Each breath in with gratitude. Each exhalation with even more gratitude. Easy breaths, gratitude, thanksgiving and praise. I'm grateful for your life and for your beingness. Exhaling out gratitude, thankfulness and gratefulness, praise. Just when you're ready, allow for your toes to touch the ground, being certain you can feel your feet on the ground and the ground beneath your feet. Mindful of your breathing. You may want to tap the fingertips together. Make sure you can feel your fingers on your hands. And just in your own time, allow for the outer eyes to gently open. I'm grateful for everything you see around you. I'm grateful for the I am that you are. I'm grateful for the reminder that indeed you are whole, complete, and perfect. This concludes our meditation for this morning's service. Namaste.
Welcome. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Here's Richard.
Thank you. Thank you, Gilman. We appreciate your talents and wonderful music. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center of Spiritual Living in Redlands. My name is Richard Borges, and I am a member of the board. Our center is an open and inclusive community that honors all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. So our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you are here for the first time, please raise your hand and let us greet you. Gilman? Welcome, Gilman. So we are so happy to have everyone here or in person, our service today, and we are grateful for your presence. If you are joining us remotely, thank you for being here with us this morning. Okay, so welcome and enjoy our service. And now here's Gilman with our century music.
Let's get centered. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world, and we shine, yes we shine, and we shine so bright, and we shine, yes we shine so bright, and we shine so bright.
Can we do that again? Are you shining so bright this morning? Yes, good morning. Do you mind if we actually do it a little bit again? And we sing it together as an affirmation? You ready?
Okay.
You start.
I'm gonna go with the third verse here.
Okay.
We are a light.
And say I am the light, I am the light of this world. Do it. I am the light, I am the light, I am the light of this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. Do you?
Yes, I shine. Yes, I shine. Shine so bright.
Oh, yes, and let's just turn within. Thank you so much, Gilman. That is fantastical, isn't it? It's just beautiful. And if you ever want to just refocus and do a spiritual chiropractic for yourself, remember that. You are the light of this world. And it's a choice. Do you shine? Do you shine? Do you shine so bright? And so let's just turn within together, and we do the blessing this morning for today's service. And let's take that deep breath in together again. Just exhale. Let's exhale first. Everything that is unlike the magnificence that you are. Just let it go. Sometimes you need to grunt it out. And as we breathe in, let's breathe in the divinity, this I am the light of the world. Breathe that in. And we exhale out anything that may dim your light. Just let it go. Just with something simple, as easy as you're breathing, just let it go. And breathe in the light of the world that you are. Just breathe that in. And as we return to our normal breathing, we exhale out anything and everything that's for the lower vibration. Just let it go. And with each breath, we get the highest vibration. And so we return to our normal breathing pattern now, reminded that this power and this presence, this love, this light that I am, this light that you are, is here in this place. It's in this space. It's in me. It's in you. And while you may try to avoid it, it shall encompass you anyway. It shall be the ever-pervasive allness and unity and unification that is the truth of your life. And this is why we can say in the meditation, I am whole, complete, and perfect. I am whole, complete, and perfect. I am whole, complete, and perfect. And so if you agree with that, just say that out loud together with me. I am whole. I am complete. I am perfect. And then a line was forcing its way down through me in the meditation, and I didn't say it out loud, but I say it now. And it came, after you know this, from the Course in Miracles, a line was coming so strong. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. And so this idea is that coming from life and this idea of what I know about you, that you are whole, complete, and perfect, how I see you, how all spiritual practitioners of truth see you as whole, complete, and perfect, nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing needing, nothing wanting. Then there's nothing to do, because in your defenselessness, indeed, your safety lies. And so I call forth for you to be open to receive. Just allow for your mind to be fertile soil, fertilized with the idea that whatever you are here for, however you found us in person and online, that it's perfect. It was right on time. It was a divine appointment. And so you kept your part by being here and by clicking on to say yes, to be part of our service. For it is very vital. You are a vital part to our service. Our service would not be the same without you. And just know that. You can even say it if you want, that this service would not be the same without me. Just think about that and say that. This service would not be the same without me. And so it is from this place of unity and unification and oneness that I speak a word of blessing, knowing that everything that your soul needs for a revelation, a manifestation, a demonstration, for something that's higher and greater, for your greatest yet to be, is provided this day through the music that cracks you wide open, through the message. And that was beautiful, Gilman Carver, our musical director. Through the message that's going to be lovingly spoken, the Goddess of the Most High, Reverend Carrie Masters, where she is, God is. And so everything that needs to be spoken this day shall be spoken. And the service is a celebration of life with ease and grace and technology. Thank you to David. With snacks, thank you to Holly. And with everybody here who gives of themselves in sacred service. So we bless our board, our practitioner corps, our ecclesiastical corps, all people who shall come forward. For you are called by the energy, for we are only energy. And so let's rest in that with a grateful heart. Let's breathe it in together, grateful heart. Even more gratitude, we exhale out even more gratitude. Even more gratitude in. And even more gratitude out, we exhale it out. And together we say, and so it is. All right, thank you everybody. Thank you for indulging all the words. This morning, I was, before I do the wisdom reading, I was getting ready, and a message came to me for us to consider. And it's not a reading, it's just a brief message. If we're to really know what all the wisdom teachings of all the world really teach, it's what's the golden rule? Does anybody know it? It's the same thread through all the great religions of all the world. Do unto others, or do no harm, right? And that came to me really strongly today, just for us to consider how can we be in the world in an even higher frequency to make sure that we are keeping our part of that. And so the wisdom reading comes to us from the Science of Mind text, available in our office bookstore. And it comes from page 87. There's no such thing as your mind, my mind, and God's mind. There's only mind, in which we all live and move and have our being. Things are ideas in form. What else could they be? There's nothing from which to make things except ideas. In the beginning, we behold nothing visible. There's only an infinite possibility, a limitless imagination, a consciousness. The only action of this consciousness being idea. And then from page 49, paragraph 2, on practical application of the science of mind. There's an irresistible, universal, and divine urge within us to be happy. Do you believe it? Let's just say that. There is an irresistible universal and divine urge within me to be happy, to be whole, and to express the fullness of life. Very good. The latent divinity within us stirs our imagination, and because of its insistent demand, impels and compels our growth. It is back of every invention. It proclaims itself through every creative endeavor. It has produced sages, saints, and saviors, and will, when permitted, create a new world in which war, poverty, sickness, and famine will have disappeared.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Mark. I have a little personal story that I'd like to introduce this next song with. I was working in Japan in 1996, playing bass with a Carpenters Tribute Band. Bless the beasts and the children. And in my free time, I met two young kids playing a guitar in the park right outside the hotel. They sang some songs in Japanese, then I sang some songs in English, and we went back and forth for about 20 or 30 minutes. Then eventually they sang this song by John Lennon, and I realized those were the only words they knew in English. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. imagine. Here's Reverend Carrie. Imagine that.
Yes, imagine that. Wow. Thank you, Gilman. Another nice round of applause for Gilman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Today I'm talking about sparking the imagination. It's part of the theme that we're working on here in August about pausing so that we can be even more. I'd love to tell you the exact theme, but I've left my notes at home. So I'm gonna wing it today. But we are pausing for guidance, that's it. We're gonna pause for guidance during this month. And when we press pause on our life, it allows us to be guided to the next right thing for us to do. And sparking the imagination is the title of this talk. And so what I want you to know is that in the textbook, Ernest Holmes, somewhere about page 380 something, he says, the divine spark is always within us, and it's always bringing us to a greater imagination. It's bringing us to a greater idea of what we can do next. How wonderful that is. There's a divine spark within us. So what we need to remember is that that divine spark is what keeps us moving forward in our life. It keeps us going forward in that place where we get to experiment, we get to create, we get to pretend. Aren't we using our imagination when we play pretend when we were a little kid? Did you ever do that? Pretend like this, pretend like that. Absolutely. We use our imagination all the time. And if you're one of those people, like a few people that I know who say, oh, I don't have much of an imagination, I beg to differ. If you're a parent and your kids are not home on time from anything, you have an imagination. And I'm a mom, and when my teenager didn't get home at the time that I told her to, my imagination ran wild, and I had her dead in a ditch within 5 minutes of my own thought. She was fine. And you see, we do that. We tend to allow our imagination to run away with us. And when it runs away with us in a negative fashion, it really makes our life kind of miserable. So if we are imagining that we're going to go out in public into a store or here at church, and we're imagining that we're going to catch COVID or the variant or whatever else is out there, the flu, if we are imagining it, if we allow ourselves to be fearful of it and allow that fear to run our imagination, it very well could be that you'll attract that into your life. We have to be very, very careful about what it is we're imagining. And then when we find ourselves in that place where we're imagining the worst, we need to snap it back, turn it around, and say, no, I don't believe that. What I believe is that I am whole, perfect, and complete. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. So the thing that we get to do is to have this wonderful, vivid, active, beautiful imagination. One of the first people that comes to my mind when I think about someone with an imagination is Walt Disney. Now, Walt Disney had an idea to do a cartoon of a talking mouse. That was many, 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 many years ago. And now look what has happened. There is an entire Disney everything. There's Disney this, Disney that. And he doesn't have people who are in the creative department or in the accounting department or in the or this or that. He has Imagineers. Imagineers. Well, aren't we an Imagineer? We could be an Imagineer if we decided that we wanted to. And one of the ways that we can use our imagination is in a spiritual practice that is called visualization. Now, I'm not talking about visioning. I'm talking about visualization. If there is something tangible in your life that you want to attract into it, you can visualize it. You can kind of get the idea of what it looks like. You can, if I'm going to imagine my new and beautiful home, I'm going to walk in my front door to my living room and see a beautiful, breathtaking view. Or I'm going to go into my kitchen and see a well-appointed kitchen with new appliances and whatever else comes to my mind. I can see it in my mind. And when we can see it in our mind, we can attract it into our life, because that seeing it and that practice of visualizing raises our vibration to the level that whatever it is we desire comes to us. I have done this so many times. Cars, I was great at visualizing cars. And I was also pretty good at visualizing a microwave oven back in the day. I'm sure I may have told you this story. Yeah, but that microwave oven came to me because I visualized it. I saw it in my kitchen. I cooked with it in my kitchen without it even being there. When I walk through the doorway of where I live right now, I imagine myself walking into my beautiful home. I know I'm going to attract that home. I know I'm raising my vibration. I am inviting each one of us to do this today, to raise our vibrational level so that we can attract whatever it is that we want to have in our life. And it might be something simple. It might be a particular tool that we haven't been able to find, but we know that it's a tool that we can use. And so we visualize it, and we know that we can use it. We know how to use it. And if we don't know, we know someone who does, who can show us. And so on, and we raise our awareness and our vibration so that that tool can come to us. I have a very good friend. She and her husband are very good at manifesting stuff. And this couple has manifested more checks in the mail than I can even count. Once in a while, they get into a little financial slump. None of us have ever been there, of course. No. But once in a while, they dip into that little slump. And so they begin to tell each other, oh, well, there's a check coming in the mail. And in about a day, a check comes in the mail. And sometimes they're not even sure what the check is for, but they're thankful for it. But you see, they're raising their vibration. They're allowing their divine spark of imagination to bring what it is that they need into their life. If everyone could do this, what a world we would live in. Oh my gosh. If we would pay attention to what it is that we're imagining in our life, then we can dispense with what we don't want and embrace what we do want. How does that sound? Yeah? You see, the thing is, We are the divine spark that has been created by the divine. We are that divine spark. We are the creative, we're the co-creators with God in our life. And when we co-create with the divine, we are creating the very best and the very highest and the most joyous and the absolutely beautiful things that we want to experience in life. So I know that you might have something that you want to experience. There might be a trip you want to take. There might be a painting you would like to paint. There might be a painting that you'd like to hang in your home. There might be a love relationship you would like to attract. There might be a healing that you would like to have happen in your family. There might be so many things. And all we need to do is allow ourselves to be that divine spark. Now, how do we do that? This all sounds great, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky, especially when we're reading the news or listening to it, or we're seeing that there's so much in the world that needs to be done with the environment, and every person in the world seems to need prayer. And what I know for sure is that if we allow ourselves to imagine the very highest and best for our planet, for our leaders, for the leaders of all the countries all around the world, if we allow ourselves to imagine the best for our family members and for our family members who are, that extended family that are your friends, imagining the best for them. Allowing ourselves to take a step into our future of what it is that we desire to embrace in our heart. There's a way to do this. There's several ways to do this. And one of them is to have a spiritual practice, a daily spiritual practice. And what that could be is maybe a time of meditation where you can sit, and maybe not with your eyes closed or your legs crossed or your hands in a particular position, but maybe just sit. I digress for a second. I was in the School of Ministry. Our schoolroom was upstairs at the Huntington Beach Church of Religious Science. And our instructor asked us to just sit for a moment at the beginning of class. There was no structure to it, just sit. And below us was the kitchen for the church. So sometimes we heard people come in and out, but we were in this beautiful space of just sitting and just being. And then someone came in downstairs and said, "Hi, what are you doing?" to someone else. And our instructor said, "We're just sitting." The lady wasn't talking to any of us. She couldn't see us. But she helped us understand that we can just sit. So if we take time each day to just sit and allow ourselves to visualize what it is we would desire to have, what do we want to experience? What is it that would make us laugh? That would be something brand new that we've never experienced before? What is it that would bring us so much joy? What is it that would taste delicious? What is it that we want? And just sitting there and just allowing that to come into our awareness. I'm going to invite you to do that right now. Just bring to mind something that you would like to experience. You can close your eyes if you want to, or you can keep them open. And as you visualize this, imagine yourself, see yourself interacting with whatever this is. Letting it be a part of your life. And notice the expression on your face. Notice how it makes you feel inside. Notice what it tastes like. Notice what it smells like. Just notice. And when you are doing this, what's happening is you are bringing forth that divine imagination that is that divine spark. You're actually activating it in your life. So I'm going to invite you to do that spiritual practice every day, especially if there's something really heavy on your heart that you would really like to enjoy. And the other thing that you can do in order to keep this creative imagination flowing is to do an affirmation about what it is you'd like to have and see it in the here and now. The affirmation might be, let's say, for my desire for my perfect, beautiful home with a breathtaking view, I would say something like, I see myself now enjoying my perfect, beautiful home with a breathtaking view. It is done. That would be my affirmation. So I invite you to just make up an affirmation, but make sure that you don't have any will be's or wannabes in there. You want to leave those out and say, it's here now. It's in my experience right now. That will help you stay on that high vibration that you want to achieve in order to attract all that you want into your life. It is done unto us as we believe, right? That's in Scripture. It's in the Science of Mind classic book that Ernest Holmes wrote. It's done unto us as we believe. And if we can believe it, it is already ours. So I invite each one of us this day to make a decision to keep that imagination going, to allow that imagination to give us wings, to fly into a newness of life that we would like to experience. God wants us to have all that there is in the universe. It's sort of like the scene in The Lion King when the lion is sitting on the mountain and his father says, all that you see before you is yours. And it was a vast landscape. We have the same. All of the landscape before us is ours. Do you believe that this morning? All of that beauty, all that God has created, all of it is ours. And we are a part of that. And so today I invite you to really get into your imagination. This week, your spiritual practice will be to visualize, to use your imagination, and when you catch it going down the wrong road, give it a U-turn and make it come back to a more positive road. Yeah. And then know that you are co-creating your life with God, co-creating your life with the infinite. Think about that. It's amazing what we can do because you are powerful. Let's say that together. I am powerful. I create all that I desire. I am blessed. Indeed, you are. You are so blessed. I want to thank you for being the Imagineers of your life. So the affirmation for this week is, I am an Imagineer for my life. And so it is. Namaste. Here's Gilman.
Yes, before I went to Japan in 1996, I did go out and buy a t-shirt with a great big Mickey Mouse on it. And they loved it, even if they didn't speak English. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing
Isn't that great?
Here's Richard.
All right, yeah. So, catch my breath, right? Announcements. So here are our announcements for this morning. So you are invited to join a new class beginning September 13th. It is entitled The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment, also called Affirmative Prayer. These are flyers and class, there are flyers and class registration forms on the table next to the sound booth. Contact Reverend Carrie for further information. All right, so also join us for our Wednesday night service, your midweek spiritual boost, with licensed practitioner Renee Hart. Renee leads us in a lovely meditation and shares her weekly inspiration message. Attend by going to Facebook Live at facebook.com/cslredlands.org or YouTube each Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Be sure to encourage everyone you know to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think, are we almost there with our numbers? So we just need a few more people to subscribe to make it a viable channel, right? So let's all pitch in, encourage others to do that. All right, so great. We're at 62, and so we only need what? What's my math? 38 or 39 to make it a viable channel. Thanks. So you're invited to stay after service today for food and fellowship. And during that time, if you wish to say hello to the are there children? There's no children here. There are children here. No children here. Okay. So there you go. So thanks for joining us in person this morning in our sanctuary. And thank you for all of you who have connected with us this morning on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Remember to watch our Wednesday night services and have a wonderful week. Thank you, Gilman.
Once again, here's Reverend Carrie.
Oh, goodness. All right. So Richard told you about the new class that's starting, and the information pages on the table right over there. And one is a flyer about the class. The other is the registration form for the class. I will be around here after service today if you would like to talk with me about that. Looks like we're going to have Zoom and in-person situation going on there. Now it's time for us to do our offering. And this is the time for us to give consciously from that place of abundance within us, from that place of love. And while you're giving today, if that gift comes from a place of angst, I invite you to just hold on to that gift and know that it is love in motion. Okay, and also, if you want to give online, you're welcome to do that. I do that every time I receive money. I go to Zelle with my bank and give to this center that way. If you want to donate using our website or our Facebook page, you can go to either of those pages and click on the donate button. You can also give using Venmo and PayPal, and we accept checks and cash. So we do have an offering that will be taken this morning. And before we do that, I'm going to invite us to repeat our offering affirmation together. From the love of pure spirit within me,
Pure spirit within me,
I bless this gift.
I bless this gift.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
Send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world,
It does great work in the world.
and it returns to me abundantly.
And it returns to me abundantly.
And so it is.
So it is. As I give, so do I receive, joyfully and gratefully. As I give, so do I receive, fully and freely. God is a river where abundance flows. so do I receive.
And so we take the time to bless our gifts. And as we do so, we know that these gifts are the divine expression of the infinite life, the infinite abundance, that absolute prosperity that is the truth of life itself. And so I know that every giver is blessed this morning. Their gift is enriching them and enriching our center and the teaching of the science of mind. And I bless all that has been taken in by this center, knowing that every gift is loved and deeply appreciated, and it moves from here out into the world to bless all it contacts. So I give thanks for all of it, and we simply let it be, as we say together, and so it is. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to begin our closing healing prayer. But before we go into that, I want to announce that Eileen Swenson's dear mom, Ellie, made her transition at 104 years old. Wow. So we're going to include Eileen, her family, and her mom in this closing healing prayer. We're going to include our dear Dr. Ruth Wilkerson in this prayer. And if any one of you has a prayer request, we have prayer request forms on the seats, and you're welcome to fill that out. And you can bring it up here and put it on the piano, or you can give it to Brother Mark or myself. And we'll be more than happy to hold that prayer all week long. So now we're going to move into this closing prayer. So I invite you to just relax in your chair for a moment. Just relax and be right there. And take a nice big deep breath in, breathing in the divine, and releasing all that divinity out into the world. And breathing in that unconditional love that is God. And releasing all things that are unlike unconditional love. Just letting it go. And allowing our breathing to return to that beautiful natural rhythm that it is. We recognize that there is only one life, one power, one divine presence, one infinite imagination, one infinite life. And this life creates all things from its image and likeness. This one life has created all that we can see and all that we cannot see. It has created life in all of its fullness and all of its glory. And I know that each one of us is a creation of that divine mind, that divine life. And we are in that oneness. We live and move and have our being in that divine mind. And so in that oneness, we are united in that presence, in that power that is God. And so I speak my word to know that everyone within the sound of my voice is in this oneness. I speak my word to know that each person hearing these words, each person for whom we pray, they are lifted up into a sense of absolute peace and healing. And so we bring into this consciousness our dear Eileen Swenson and her mom, Ellie, this beautiful soul who has lived on this planet for more than 100 years, is now reaching forth into the light, into that peace, where she is no longer encumbered by the physical, and she is free to fly. Her soul elevates into that magnificence of divinity. And so I know for Eileen, I know for Ellie, I know for everyone that is connected with them in any way, that there is a sense of comfort, a sense of love, a sense of peace. We simply know this. And I speak my word this morning for our dear Reverend Dr. Ruth Wilkerson, knowing that as she moves into some changes in her life, in this time of her life, she too is blessed with that divine peace that is unconditional, that is infinite, that is forever flowing in and through and as her. And I know that as she is that peace, I know that she expresses that peace outward. She has taught so many of us to live completely embraced by the beautiful unconditional love of the divine. And so we know this for her right here and right now. And I speak my word for Dr. Ruth's family as they continue their care for her in this new way. And I know that as she is cared for, and as those who are caring for her are blessed by her, I know that there is a wonderful outpicturing of this beautiful, infinite, deep, and abiding love in place. I speak my word for each one of us here this morning, each one of us watching online, each one of us hearing it. I speak my word to know for each of us that we are definitely whole and perfect and complete on every level of our lives, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And I know for every person who may have a prayer request on their heart, I know that request is already met by that divine law that says yes and brings forward into our lives all that we desire and require for a life that is fulfilling and uplifting. I speak my word for all of those who are unsheltered this morning, and I simply know that the shelter is there for them, and they move toward it, and it moves toward them. There is safety. There is sustenance. There is substance throughout the universe. And so everyone who is in need of any item, anything, it's already there. It's already within them. I speak my word for this Center for Spiritual Living. I know that this center is a light in the community. We are a beacon, and that light shines outward into this community. That light that is unconditional love, compassion, and peace and joy shines outward from this community out into the greater community, out into our country and out into the world, and surrounds this planet with a beautiful white light. And there is peace in that light. There is wholeness in that light. And so we speak our word of knowing that there is wholeness, perfection, and completeness in every individual on this planet, in every country, every child, every adult, every plant, every animal is whole and perfect and complete. And so I give deep, deep thanks, knowing that every word that I have spoken is a word that is acted upon right here and right now by that infinite law that I know as God, as unconditional love. And so that creative law of the universe is already working on everything that I have spoken into it. And I am so grateful to know these truths and to know that the manifestation is right here. And so in this gratitude, I release these words into that law, and I let it be, as we joyfully and confidently say together, and so it is.
So it is.
Whew. Here's Gilman.
There was a time in my life thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. This is what you have to say. I release, I let go, let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thank you. There's a rumor that Al Yankee will be here next week, unless he's in quarantine. He just got back from Ohio. So.